Hello, everyone, and welcome to online microbiology. That is Biology 2420. This is an online class, which means we have no in-person meetings. So I wanted to create a couple of videos to really talk through the syllabus with you and hopefully answer any questions that you may have. But if I don't, you are always welcome to email me. So I'm going to divide the syllabus videos into three chunks so as not to overwhelm or bore you too quickly. This first video is just going to focus on kind of general course information, a little bit about me, and how to get a hold of me throughout this semester. Because one thing online students report in general is that they often feel alone. And that is the last thing that I want you to feel in this course. This is a challenging course, whether it's face-to-face, hybrid, online, 16 weeks, 8 weeks, or 5 weeks. That does exist. Oy, oy, oy. But I don't want you to think that just because you don't come to class in person with me each week, that you're alone. You are never alone. I am always here to help. So let's talk about different ways that you can get a hold of me. And then we'll dive into what this course is actually about and what you're getting yourself into. And then a couple of details about prerequisites and just course format. So here we go. So one thing, actually, I'm jumping the gun already. I'm sorry, y'all. Who am I? Whose voice are you listening to? I am Dr. Chelsea Dankenbring. Please feel free to call me Chelsea. If that makes you uncomfortable, you are welcome to call me Dr. Dankenbring. That's kind of a mouthful, so some students just like to call me Dr. Dank. That's fine as well. I am based out of the Cypress Creek campus, which is out in Cedar Park, Texas. I provide my office phone number, but y'all, I'm rarely in there. Um, I have online classes as well. And so when I'm on campus, I tend to be um, in class or in my 45-minute block office hours that we'll talk about in a second. But other than that, I'm usually working elsewhere. So if you call that phone number, please leave a message because I'm not in there often. The best ways to get a hold of me are my email, which is through the ACC email address that you see in the syllabus. And another good way is through the Remind app. This is a free app that you can download on your phone. Or just, I think like an iPad or something also works. You can also just go through the browser at remind.com. You can download it for free, create a free account, and then you can join my course um, using the course code. Okay. So if you're going to download the app, I do have a link right here, but you can also just go into your phone and like your app store and just search Remind. And it's a blue square with the white letter R, is what the app icon looks like. Again, a blue square with a white R in it. And then you should just need to, I believe, put this course code. If you encounter any issues, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. So the Remind app, if you've never used it before, it's really snazzy. I can send reminders like, hey, don't forget your knowledge check is due tonight. Or you can use it as like a texting apparatus where you don't have to give me your phone number and you can send me a message. Now, one thing I want to point out is that even though I can send blast announcements that each of you receive, anything that you send to me through the app is only visible to me. So you can send me a question, you can respond to one of my blast remind notices, but no matter what, I'm the only one seeing it. Okay, so it is a more private form of communication. Because it comes through on my phone, I tend to see this much quicker than I do an email. So please feel free to use that if it's something that you kind of need a quicker response. Now, between the hours of like 9 and 4 on weekdays, I can normally answer pretty quick. I do have classes, I do have office hours, I do have work meetings, so it may not be an instantaneous response, but I will get back to you as quickly as I can on that. Um, on the weekends and on evenings, I try to devote that to family time. But if I see a message, especially if I can tell that it's urgent, I will try and get back to you as quickly as I can. Okay, so far, two good ways to get a hold of me, my ACC email and through the Remind app. I also have office hours, and y'all, I cannot tell you how important office hours are. This is a time when I am literally sitting at my computer, twiddling my thumbs, hoping you come and talk to me. This is time carved out just for y'all. You can come in with a question. You can come in with just needing advice on better ways to study. We can review an assessment you turned in. I can just quiz you if you want. Now, I know that may sound scary, but I actually have a lot of students, especially once we get through Unit 1 and you've kind of figured out how to prep for this class. I'll have students log in and just be like, hey, Chelsea, can you ask me random questions about Module 4? And I sure can. And the reason that's actually really beneficial is I'm the one writing your exams and your knowledge checks, right? So if you come into office hours and have me ask you questions, you're getting more exposure to how I ask questions and how I'm wanting those questions to be answered, which is really good for short answer questions. So a lot of students either don't know what office hours are, or they feel intimidated by it. And believe me, I have been there. I remember going to office hours and being really nervous. But y'all, I'm here to help you. And I love my job. I love working with students and helping y'all figure things out. Like I said, this course is hard, it's complex, and it's easier to give more tailored one-on-one help if you come and talk to me one-on-one. And so in this time, I'm not going to judge you. You can ask any type of question. I'm not going to laugh at you, make fun of you, put you down. I don't think any educator should do that. I think we've all had bad experiences with faculty that do that sort of thing. I am not that person. So please know that if at any point you need any type of help, office hours are a great place to get that help. So as you can see, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I've only got this short little window. It is in person just because this is the time that I've gone from one campus to a next. I teach at two campuses this semester, and I'll be arriving at the second campus around this time. And so right now I have it designated as only in person, but if you absolutely need me and this is a time that works for you, shoot me an email, shoot me a message on the Remind app, and I can easily hop into the Zoom office hours. Um, no problem, okay? But they do recommend that as faculty have in-person office hours if we're teaching on in-person classes, which I do. So again, please do note that this time I can be available online if that is what you need. Tuesdays from 8:15 to 11:45, so basically the whole morning, I will be logged in to my Zoom office hours room, which you can access by clicking on this virtual office hours link. And again, I'm sitting here hoping somebody comes to talk to me. So please, please do. If these times do not work for you, email me, message me on Remind. Let's find a time that works for you. All right. Basically, moving on to the course description, this class is about microbiology, entities that can cause infection that are too small to see with just our eyeballs. So we're going to be looking at different types of bacteria, viruses, fungi, protists, helminths, things like that that can make us sick. Special emphasis is placed on applications to humans. So how are you going to encounter these things in the wild? How can they impact you? Things like that. It's pretty snazzy. Um, there are some required prerequisites here in the next couple of days. I'm going to be looking at every single person enrolled in this class, making sure you've completed one of the following with a grade of C or better. It is absolutely required, strictly enforced. So please be keeping your eye out for in your ACC email, because if I can't verify that you have completed one of these courses, I will email you and ask you to provide an unofficial transcript showing that you've completed the prerequisite with a C or better. And if you don't provide that by the Friday of that first week of class, I will have to withdraw you. Okay, so please know you have to have completed one of those classes, not be currently enrolled. One big thing I want to reiterate here is this transferability section. So notice Biology 2420, which is what you are currently enrolled in, is for students that are in health science programs, okay? And so some courses, pre-med, pre-dental, pharmacy school, things like that, they often want Biology 2421, and that is not the same class. A lot of times these schools will not accept Biology 2420. Okay, so please double check that whatever your goal is after this course, that it accepts Biology 2420, because believe me, y'all, you do not want to get all the way through this class just to find out that it's not going to transfer and you're now going to have to take Biology 2421. All right, y'all. You can glance over these learning outcomes whenever your heart desires. I do have course objectives on Blackboard as well that has module and unit level objectives everywhere. For this course, no required textbook, but we do use McGraw-Hill's virtual labs, okay? And so I actually might need to add that into the syllabus, so I'll update that as soon as I make this. So we do use McGraw-Hill's virtual labs as a way for you to quote unquote do lab. Um, this is a first day course, so you should have already purchased um, the online lab subscription with your normal like tuition and fees that you've already paid. So there should be no extra steps required of you. And we'll talk more about labs in another video, but there is no official textbook. I just have the free OpenStax textbook here if you want to look at a textbook. All the lecture and lab materials that you need, with the exception of the online virtual labs, are going to be provided on Blackboard. I will talk a lot more about those in the Blackboard navigation video that I'm going to post. I believe that video is going to be called like a tour of our course. So please stay tuned for that. And then the last thing that I really want to go over is that this is a fully online course, okay? But it is not entirely self-paced. There are specific assignments that have very specific deadlines. You are going to have exam windows where you can only complete an exam in a certain time frame. Again, all of that is in another video. So yes, you can navigate through a unit kind of at your own pace, but you do need to make sure you are submitting assignments on time. Okay? All right, I'm going to wrap up this video. The next video is going to go into grades and kind of the individual assessment types and what they are. So if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.